Ilang next speaker kita mo well siyasal galib ko sibar abro video.
Maluin kapasian mera beklat rogui. Kata kulti bertiang saya kita mukte kerja dah sekarang karai mutul mua Presiden Johnson ma akarai Mariur dan mutul makaludor dan namo buat peduli warat jadi kami wan ngari aja bebira aulor jadi kami deh sorry continue aku dah sulah saya aigel lurior tira asorin mengatmok aku lengolela ablur belau mara adal belau elakuk tengura ablura beliau Presiden Johnson makaray amla akut mokla bebir la project almomu ramal dimere ataringi rela adra beliau aji dim tengare wasai aran amal matnit ngaria ewan beliau plan betik secure waseng mo magatmok tiagi del project raran elang area direct tara haji mulnit ringil ulda sulmora Presiden Johnson waseng pol sebel magatmok sel olgorod kambek kami amdel waseng dia kadir ada beliau malalbak hasil got lungil tag site ngar bela ngar apul omru segi del kambe rela ngamal ospe ngi agel bek turist agency momal bakse di ban maknita sel lolgoro dringi mungkire del mogut maklin mawni pero sandera amla memong agi dire kami witness na dire kami tablol equipment bako lauder imoringi amornya ul imong amor video aigal equipment takmal uspe aigal tablol blue dan dire kal ngari aigal walurior la da sorir el merula pes blirir smen to spell lola balmingi second mobile foundation regal black kami amdel wasa lilo ruangnya ula adi assign Allah ka wajib equipment enda ka saber mi digire di ola badu ban bulu malu benjak kata ola baba kol el malad menjak di gira agel lomda so tirgal terulat el momru rau sela abulwa dara beliau ngari ahmad dire kerja negara el ngarau daso el wasai kadam garai ek magaludor lo manggil tiagil administration mongmo sepedal gutmok mau ule mo ongila tanang clear arat mablur belau amok probokol swadal kera se diga kita orang le swagal ko wai sekida ada beliau ngartiang ya ko mansau der betus
saula wel siyasal galib ko sibar abro video. Ilang next speaker Mr. Alfonso Girongain ka represent agriculture me kusesian girela agriculture abro bero.
Palungil kapasingay mo Presidente Toko Betsel mo kumul agar belaro akadya ka ngartial lom te erang idi ngarang ako te er kumuro ko ilorur trasa seder belaw akmo magadare da ko ser belaw blalo gerda Presidente rebelaw lamo bagik keraigan maran melewal boy lendir ka kapon mereka ureor ya tayo mati kaya balak kami entiak kamam bakmo mengadari ada igel takoy raw revolution sel takoy rali usulul sa other gitil ka penor at yamrut ringi kadamil rara Atroy tela liw sira balilyaw mang ayangala. Elo ko dir ore magtin mo ranekeng. Enguro sira igal states. Lobanggela alu umatyenso. Maralol lang ala tyenso. Mindala mabagim lang mo check. Magabi mangir siya lo marit maringi. Katamor siya blay lo lagor ngingel. Rupa karang esal de kon takangal. Maral takangal at. Siya blay malklol blay. El blay mga Clifmont Development Center. Sum gamer belaw raigel mel lewarak leng blamo misisi en sebe emelding arangi em maiger rogul information research ya gingo suka research sem baka mo ada research isat tagi del cloud blay blalo ko darur entara ko to cloud blay ngar belaw kadul si sa cloud basir ra alsel el nila president tra Taiwan almay el tablon mal maklol tractor Matar makalol mal Mary Pilet el dengilay rabaw Israel 16 states din mga sireng alololager magpor nga malaala lol takararboy gal mengalak letab mo bon sa kaw kamor akmo mala osip etab mo kamla mauwi dai legit ali gay yakal mo nga ramak klungel magililu tel bakal may mangarang ngarsel center elang magdul tuwa kalila aram marogul dangura armara ansel makuya sa raser se ultraw yung guk merwa president ma araban mu kata changer yang memodia kal iblil otro lagi aku kuliah imor arbay el mobli la dallo el podosi gratara balul may det yagi de klol blay amotara al sela micronesia el di dengar bela amrula kalela arme ultra al moragel baby mamasilang aro amrolen mekmer direk yagi del blagi mangat mok kara kamam magim la dolmi akmedel Laawa al sel tial bokso en mol nga sir tirkel bodom aradal la malin may kadon dangaleng al betulan keng le agriculture amlaro uru belaw nganya ngulger na igel tanera babi mamira na state visit MEC el alsil sa babi am la model tane kadam la mo si garabil lem la mo sa pel longal ga engkal tane diler tara ayowa mang ganangilay mas tirigel abal gora tilgibel masisi batolam yan mel mo sa irar adar belan mala arbit makamiwal sumo compare tarak labasay engarnya rukliw ding mga sirengan takoy legal babiran mel elolgen magiba mo mes yakuk tiliw ngi betemu albonso kuk mo yang aku siga kaligala babi ay legit liga ay kang kaligala karbon dakal babi oh elem telemal na maklungen mang gadagug magidir ka mare kamam magi malikat takabli la babi mamla mo marek lengarang isel besel tane no pa atara Taiwan al maralmay bagaduguk mo babi ra ayo ha babi ra Taiwan oy etmora blila betemeng ngolekara president magiguk mo ang agim lo mala kami nga malaan bagi moral mo nga Minister Fritz sa kuro obas siya singaringin betulayang at maklik ang ganggok malas siya singarang at alang aringin dilubet yal gana del container yung aringi agar tamaluy el kamin ngirel el liban bagi ilan meranek keng magiraw si mortirkel masisi el at yung aringi amade el lomte ergamiw madsugum gomen mo abrasers and so amal mas kamya armiw diregal mlaringi amokte karingin mo diregal giretan mo umal ka Melanjil sa gimla mo, gerdak lakadali lamal ka mga takan siya. Emlat na ba di abuy gal nga Taiwan al nila tuman siya. Mamla mo maduon mo sa babi, yung karaw lamal ka. Baka mo mangay siya Taiwan al mayat. E marugo yung magkakogid ang ulmorabli langal ka. Yung ulmorabli laklaw. E mo sabi irar-adal lumaan. Di mga sireng al mal ka. E sugo makaardil malu bekas ale. Ekoli, yaklugan dia kam sukal al sukong pasukal. Ay say giderrak. Rederrak al meren allo lorurten nga Johnson Toribiong. Akmal mlamat ak kulo ik. Lekmlora babaldao borogil mer oreor emlat tabati alluy el tela 120,000 el dait. liwag klia al selebela o rabi oreor mapapaltao pa. Direkal di sera January 12 al mera August 8 ikatamlat na badiya 33,750 kung tagmokal o magi mas kamiyadan lamaliw and din dirika kan sa PL legal diro ngit tay kan maral melewara mam sa ul o me ikatamla marit may mas kamiya kung mamuri ka to si kureor bakti ngun mor tiay din baru kokmal masulang itu lutem sa ewara ka Chanson Toribiong ma Vice President Toribiong-Mariur kokmal masulang.
Malmasaura Mr. Alfonso Irongay ka adra agricultura berbeda. Elange, so I'll want to take this opportunity and introduce my counterpart. This guy is a retired Army. I'm a retired Navy. I never thought that one day I would be introducing a retired Army guy. But this guy's a senator in Palau. He's one of our stars. So please put your hands together and welcome Senator Diaz.
Yes. Malungel pasingel mergmiro gaktel gi belgoramet letial ngerngel lusyo adi ko modegar gi di modegar gi makdel bungang esola en la momet mal kom mosu best sele esola ng area mal important information and bogo mas kamiro la ko pasingay teli moklan ni esola ko to dele gor komio so akal gote esola e gurenga ti recognize ra bebira maklola the tel belung and so akal recognize ra tuti ngartiang madirek Yakob mangartiang Justin mengartiang madirek laibu mendirek langartiang maubu rangu goman masau dengan tokan mas mara rubahan direk langartiang anti goman betok madumas adomas ergamiu esolai mo pan mo kamangat maktiung mo segi esolai. At the same time I would like to recognize some of our friends, the local politicians and former governor Carl Gutierrez. Thank you, sir, for being with us tonight. Give him a round of applause. And also, Speaker Judy Wanpat, she's a good friend of mine. She's here. She needs support. She needs support. For all of you people that are voting here on Guam, give her support. She needs you again. 2 years ago, when I was here at the Agania, she asked for support and we gave it to her. Senator Barnes is not here, but I know she needed support and she's a good friend of mine. Please give her support. And don't forget our friend, Mr. Pangilinan. He's a local Palawan here. He's also from Guam. Sir, thank you for being here tonight. Haleva ko ngadodol wasay ngakang artiang el yak artiang el campaign el girela Diaz. Engran. Akmlertiang el me campaign el girela Chanson Toribiong-Mariur. Ngakan na momrek a campaigner nga. Hindi ako tingin siya queen and aklus and dik matingin siya na momrek aurere. Ay gan na momrek telara ka kotol mormor te ko mo igakalmong mori au recall mo ko mo igakalmong eso lang lutul mo niya senkyo mo ko mo igakalmong makmal di merenga sulir tirger roguin na senkyo nga makngara kongres el magtigat time malom te ergamin melmutre time akmal merenga suliw. Pretty easy. Just remind me that Senator Stannis is also here and he needs support. Give him a round of applause. Okay, since I'm in the Congress and I deal with this stuff every day, please don't believe anybody that comes to Guam and tell you all kinds of different things. Believe me, because I don't lie and I work very closely with President Chanton Toribiong. And also at the same time, I'm in the Congress and I look at these figures and also I deal with those people in Washington. So please bear with me and I'm going to explain to you. And believe me, this is how it happened. Not too long ago, representative from United States Congress, which is the senior staff and minority staff, came to Palau to assure us that the compact will be approved unless, I don't know, when you say unless, I don't know. when they say unless President Johnson Toribiong is elected, or what? I don't know. I'm speculating. But to be sure of that, we have to vote for Johnson Toribiong. In order to get that $250 million, if you change your vote, I don't know. I cannot guarantee you that we're going to get that money because Americans are watching us. Yes, Mr. President. Senator Frank Blas is also right here. He needs the support. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being with us. I hope you don't mind. Give me this opportunity to speak both languages. Because if I speak English, I think it's best that, I speak English most of the time because we have our guests here and all of you are also speaking English, so I think it's appropriate for me to speak 90% of the time in English and 10% of Palawan. Is that okay with you, Mr. Carl Gutierrez? Give him a round of applause. Okay, let me continue on. I was with the president. We went to Washington, D.C. But before we went to Washington, D.C., on a compact issue, we went to Honolulu, Hawaii on September 3rd, 2010. When he took the office, Mr. President didn't have nothing on the table to negotiate. It was zero balance. After September 30, 2009, we finished with $500 million, nothing left. And the United States of America said, no more money for you, no more. So when he took the office, we didn't have a penny from United States government. But he was very articulate enough to talk with Americans. We went to Honolulu, Hawaii, and we went from 60-some million to 120-some millions to 200 millions. And when we reached $250 million, he said, cap it right there. Ambassador Koshiba, stop right there. That's all Americans going to give us. And he was right. He was in Americana Hotel in downtown Waikiki on the phone telling us what to do. I was not part of negotiators, but I was there to listen so I can understand and explain to everybody. But after that, when we capped at $250 million, the Americans right there then signed that agreement. And that agreement is before the Congress of the United States, and then looking at it, and they were supposed to approve it, but for some odd reasons, they have not approved it, and I wonder why. Maybe they're waiting for us to elect Johnson Toribiong so they can release that money. I don't know. I don't know, but I think Americans are very smart people. They're very smart. Because, excuse me, let me say this because it's a fact. Because if Tamir Mangasao took 8 years in there, and also Kuniwo Nakamura took 7 years, $500 million gone, economy of Palau is down. Americans are not stupid. They're not. That's why I'm standing in front of you tonight and said we got to vote Toribiong-Mariur and Johnson Toribiong to be our next president for the coming years. I was not officially part of the compact negotiation team, but it was Mr. President was kind enough to invite me to come along because he knows that I got a big mouth. That's not true. But I can't tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Let me continue on. I hope you give me some more time and I'll explain to you everything I have here. So now $250 million is waiting for us, and Al Steinman and also representative from United States Congress came, Kurt Campbell from the State Department, his assistant secretary. He came over and assured us that in January, we will get our $250 million minus those $28 million for post office. But my question to them was, why January? Why it was supposed to be August and you tell us January? They smile and say, well, the Congress, there's a land, the Congress is not doing anything now because they're in break right now. They're giving us so much, excuses. And I didn't believe that because I used to work for Americans for 23 years and I know their mentality. If they don't like you, they'll give you a lot of excuses. And I think they're up to something. They're waiting to see who's going to be the president of Palau before the Congress of the United States can release that money. And that's why we have to vote for Johnson, Toribiong, and Mariur. Believe me, I think that's what they're doing. Now, let's go back to the records. President Toribiong is the reason why the economy of Palau is vibrant. It is really good. Let me give you some statistics. I'm a chairman of tourism, and when I took over that chairmanship, tourists went up sky high. We broke the records, and it keeps on climbing. When President Johnson Toribiong took the office, listen to these figures. Okay, when Johnson Toribiong took over, let me put my glasses on. I'm 62-year-old and I have to use glasses sometimes. Okay, here's the figures. Listen to this. When Johnson Toribiong took over the office, Toribiong left. And when he left, when we look at the Japanese arrivals, they were at 30,000. Today, 2011, not today, 2012, Johnson Toribiong brought Japanese in up to 37,800. It went up. Number 2 is Republic of China, Taiwan. Toribiong hit 19,900. And Johnson Toribiong brought it up to 37,632. And number 3 is Korea. Toribiong headed 14,000. 2011, President Toribiong brought it up to 15,681. And that's a record. We broke the record last year. Arrivals went up to 109,057 tourists. And that's the same year we had over $3 million surplus. Now, 2012, the first 6 months of 2012 versus the first 6 months of 2011, we have 7,000 more tourists compared to first 6 months of 2011. So in other words, this year, I just got these figures not too long ago. We already collect about $42 million, and that's projection is 38 million. We got 42,000, and September 30, that's when we close. We're gonna tell you that we went up from 38 million projection, we went up to 42 million, and I'm looking at the 45 million, and that's gonna be a surplus. We're talking about maybe $4 to $5 million surplus, which means that the economy of Palau is doing very well. Very well. So when Toribiong was in the office, his projection was 34 million, and he got 32 million. So we had a deficit. During most of the time that when he was in the office, we always in deficit. But Johnson Toribiong, when he took the office, we're on the surplus. We're on the surplus. Because he worked so hard on the tourism. Tourism is the only industry that we rely on. He declared shark sanctuary, and that brought in a lot of high-end tourism to Palau. At the same time, he asked me to accompany him to Taiwan to attend inaugural flights coming to Palau. We rode on the same airplane called Palau Airways. And that particular airplane right now brings in no less than 150 passengers 4 times a week. And that's why the figures is so high, because the additional airline, Palau Airways, is bringing in more tourists to Palau. So Johnson Toribiong is not only trying to bring the tourism industry to Palau and make it better, but also at the same time, we're getting about $10 million, which is during the time of Tamir Mangsawi was getting $11 million. And Johnson Toribiong is receiving $10 million, $1 million less than the Mangsaw. But when we look, there's so many things that has been done. In my village of Ngarmid, he completed a road from that intersection all the way to Ngarbasis. And the reason why I'm standing in front of you tonight, begging each and every one of you to please vote for him and Toribiong-Mariur, is because that I want to see our roads to be completed. I ask you, please, let's vote for him. I work with him, I watch him. If he does something wrong, I report him in no time. But for the last 3.5 years, I watched him and I worked with him. Not one time I see anything he's done wrong. Nothing. And I'm telling you, this guy we can trust. This guy we can trust. So those are the facts that I would like to share with you. Let me continue on to say that Jeff Farrell is our consultant in Washington, D.C. He stays on the phone every day with Ambassador Koshiba, informing us of any changes to our compact agreement. He came to Palau and we did a talk show with Ambassador Koshiba and President. And the copy of that is available at the headquarters. So if you want a copy of it and you want to know the truth and the facts, please stop by our office and get a copy of that, to include a copy of the United States Congress representative testimony that was held at the Palacio Hotel. Moving on down the line, COLA. For the first time, Palau citizens are enjoying the COLA. He gave $20 for those people that are making $25,000 and lower, or those people that making less than $25,000. So they're getting that right now. And they continue to receive that COLA until the end of September. But I would like to stand in front of you and ask you to please ask Mr. President not to stop COLA, instead increase that COLA for all Palau citizens, not only for those less than 25,000, but everybody. Please ask him, and if he say no, let's not vote for him. Is that okay, Mr. President? Next item in line is that the insurance. Did you know that if you are a 60-year-old retired and you come to Palau, the government of Palau automatically pay your insurance, your medical insurance. You go to medical referral in the Philippines for free, up to 25,000. Ain't that nice? You didn't contribute to that insurance, but when you come home, we have something nice for you, so you can be insured. But easy. Minimum wage. Mr. President and Toribiong-Mariur, they fought with us and continue on fighting with us to set the minimum wage. So he gave us a plan. But for us in the Congress, we are the ones to be blamed. We don't come together and see his point that Mr. President was proposing an idea like every year it goes up 10 cents at a time until 2016 when we reach $3.50, and that's how we're going to get our minimum wage. He also said that for those who make so much, you can instead of paying 6% tax, you can reduce that to 3%, and that 3% will be added on to your pay. That's another plan he was talking about. But for us in the Congress, we don't do it according to his plan. So what I'm trying to say is that those senators, incumbents, and the new ones that coming in, don't vote for them if they don't support that minimum wage for Palawans. Okay, just right now, Mr. President, got $560,000 to pay those people that lost their money at the Pacific Savings Bank. If you sitting in a crowd tonight and you deposit your money at PSP, you can claim your money. If you have less than $100,000 or you have more than $300,000 per separate account, but its account supposed to be $100,000 and below, please get yourself to Palau and file your claim and you'll get some of your money back. Please do that. And last thing is the veterans. We went to Washington. President took us to visit Senator Inoue, Senator Agaga, and the Representative of Guam and Saipan, Bortalio. We met a lot of senators that helped us on this compact agreement. We were able to talk to them, and I was personally, Mr. Gutierrez, Governor, I talked to your representative in Washington. And I said, Representative Bortalio, we have a problem. We have a problem with our benefits. There's a lot of Palauans that serve in the military and they continue on to live here on Guam, Saipan, Hawaii, and elsewhere, because if they come to Palau, they cannot use their benefits, which is by their right, they earn that benefits. They're supposed to use that benefits. But there is, because of absence of law, they cannot use those benefits such as medical benefits, burial benefits, VA home loan. Those are not available. To include Social Security. If you are an American citizen living in Palau and you're 66 or 67 years old, you can receive the full retirement to include, not include the Medicare. Medicare and also other benefits, you cannot get it from Palau. If you are a green card holder and you reach 62 years old and you want to go in and apply for Social Security, they will tell you that you're going to lose 30% of your earnings of your Social Security. But if you are a U.S. citizen, you get it 100%. So I spoke with Bortalio, I spoke with other people in Washington, and also to include Kurt Campbell when he came twice to Palau, I also told him about this thing. We have a problem with a brain drain. You know what brain drain is? That's brain drain. Because you know why? When they earn their benefits, they have to be here on Guam in order to enjoy their benefits. They cannot use it when they come to Palau. So what they do, when they retire or finish their military career, they come to Guam or Saipan or Hawaii or U.S. mainland. They don't return to Palau. And I don't blame them because they cannot use their benefits. And I think that is wrong. That is totally wrong. We're coming to an end of my testimony, and I would like to take this opportunity and recognize these people. You know, President Toribiong, after 2 years in the office, he put out executive order to make a Veterans or Memorial Day, that is, President? Memorial Day? Yeah. So Memorial Day became a law, which means when United States Memorial Day is celebrated, we also do the same thing in Palau. And here's why, Mr. Governor Gutierrez, here's why we're doing it. And I'm proud of President for doing that. In Vietnam War, we lost one Palauan citizen, Captain Quintaro. He was a helicopter pilot. He was shot down and died. There's 4 other soldiers that got killed in combat in Afghanistan. And I would like to mention the names. J. Simon Watt. He's buried at the PT Cemetery. Please give him a round of applause. Second person was Minasabang Ngirake. And he's buried in Malkayo. And next is Jasper Obagarairur. He was buried in Northmount. And last but not least, his father is sitting right here in front of us. His name is Sammy Moses. Sonny Moses. Would you please, Sudo Moses, would you please give him a round of applause? His father is sitting right here. He's standing right there. Give him a round of applause. Thank you, sir. And then we have a list of more veterans that died, that served right after the Korean War, Vietnam, and all the way up to Afghanistan. Masato Kumangay is no longer with us. Give him a round of applause. Martin Orugum, he passed away also. These guys are retired, they retired. Andres Kubari, also retired and he passed. Ryoichi Nakamoto, he passed away. Bloyang Oitrong, he passed away. Singeru Saigaman, buried in Palau. Those are the veterans that served 20-some odd years, retired, came to Palau and passed. They passed away and they're buried in Palau. There's few more retirees that are living in Palau. Kamsek Chin, retired Lieutenant Colonel. Norbert Yano, he also retired Sergeant Major. Clarence Masayos, also retired Master Sergeant, Marine Corps. And myself, I'm retired First Sergeant, 23 years in the United States Army. Give me a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, please believe me, if we don't vote for Johnson Toribiong and Toribiong-Mariur, we're going to regret it. Let me ask you this question. When you went out and looked for your spouse, your mother or your father did not go and find your spouse. You did it yourself, right? The old days, yeah, our parents go out and find someone to be your spouse. But this modernized nation, world, whatever you call it, you go and find your spouse. So Johnson Toribiong went out 4 years ago and found his spouse. And we have to respect that. If you vote somebody to be his spouse for the next 4 years, he's not going to do a good job. We have to respect his idea and his request that he wants to be with Toribiong-Mariur, and we must vote for Toribiong-Mariur and Johnson Toribiong to be our next president and vice president for the next 4 years. Thank you so much. You know, Governor Gutierrez just came up and reminded me that Carl Rodriguez, Senator Rodriguez, am I right? He's with us tonight. Thank you, sir, for being with us tonight. You know, as we all know that the Democratic Convention is going on right now. And I'm going to quote something that President Obama said during his speech. He said, "My fellow Americans, I'm not a candidate, I'm your president." So at this time I would like to say, Johnson Toribiong is not a candidate. He's our president for the next 4 years. Johnson Toribiong.